Well, YouTube has gone. Buster here, adventure biker. So I'm just going to go for a wee blast, just to get out of the house for a wee bit on a Sunday. I could potentially be doing a live with my brother tonight. We'll see how that goes. It'll be the first time we do it. It's a new thing on YouTube that you can do a live with somebody. Yeah, just going to try it, see how it goes. I've prepared a few questions to ask him. I don't know if he's going to do the same. So yeah, it's just to get out of the house for a wee bit. I've had to move the bike anyway, to the fact that a part of my roof fell off during that bad wind. So because I had to move the bike, I thought, well, I'll just go for a wee run. I'm not going to boot for long, just maybe about an hour or so. Well, an hour and 30 minutes according to my Calimoto. Got my camera on this time facing me. I've used the multicam app where it starts recording the two cameras at the same time. It's still a bit icy, to be fair. It was icy at my bit, but what prompted me out to go out for a wee jolly was I was sitting by my window after I'd moved my bike, and I seen a bike riding past, so I thought, if he's out, I'm out. So I just stuck the gear on and come out. But I said I had to move the bike anyway because the roof was coming, because I lost a part of my roof while I was while that bad wind, and I think actually that might have been my roof that just drove past. But I spoke to him yesterday and I said to him, look, if the bike's not there, just crack on. He doesn't need in the house, so there's no reason for me to be there. So that's how I'm going to kind of aim to be back for about 12:30, 1 o'clock. So yeah, so what I've done is I've just put in a Calimoto 70 miles round trip, or 75 miles round trip, and picked kind of this direction. I said I don't really want to be out for too long today because it is still quite cold. According to this, it's 6 degrees. So yeah. So while I have these, what I'll do is I've now had this bike for coming up for 3 years, because it's due its first MOT. So I've had it for 3 years. I got it with 250 miles on the clock, ex-demonstrator. So yeah, I've had this for 3 years, and I'll give you my thoughts on it while we're just riding along here. So I love this bike. This bike is amazing, because I think Richie Vida has got the 2021 model, which is the start of this, the way this bike looks, and then I've got a 2022 model, so they're very, very similar. He's did a lot more customization than what I have. So yeah, my thoughts and feelings about the Africa Twin 2022 model. Yeah, I love it. It is a big bike, don't get me wrong, a very big bike. It's quite tall. It's a very kind of tall bike, but it does, believe it or not, it does put people off it. But once you're riding it, it's fine. So when I first got the bike, I had the seat down low to the low point. So I had it down low, and then after probably, just to get used to the bike, riding about the bike, getting my feet down and stuff, yeah, and then after a while of riding it, for maybe about 6 months with the seat down at a low position, I moved it up to the high position, mainly because with a low position I could get my feet flat on the deck, but not an issue. High position I was kinda not totally flat, but I was finding when I was riding, my legs were getting sore because obviously you're sitting down, sitting lower. The legs are obviously closer to the pegs. So then I put it on the high position, and all I did was I bought a pair of adventure boots, and I purposely bought ones with a slightly thicker sole. So now with the high position I can get my feet flat on the deck. Not an issue whatsoever. So that's the one thing I would suggest to people when they're buying bikes, especially an adventure bike, is when you go to test ride it with the boots that you're going to be riding the bike with. He can overtake me if he wants. I'm going to take the chance on these roads. It's not that easy. So yeah, that's kind of what I would suggest. I bought the bike, we'll start again. So when I bought this bike, it was an ex-demonstration model, didn't have anything added to it whatsoever. I got the adventure pack added, which is the uppers crash guards, wind deflectors, pannier cage, centre stand, because that doesn't come with standard centre stand. Yeah, that's what I got with it, which was an extra £2.5 grand. Then I added the smoked screen because I wanted a wee bit extra. About the second time I was out the bike, it was heavy raining. I tried to turn round in adverse camber, and I dropped the bike and smashed the handguard. So when I went in for its first service, I replaced the original handguard, and then I bought the back busters. I bought them just for going to Luxembourg last year. Then I did bend the brake lever, but I put it back into shape, but then I replaced them with these levers. I also, what else did I add to the bike? Oh, I also got the buffer guard that goes between the tank and here, but because the bike fell over last Christmas, I had to put a bit on the back buster to hide the dent, which is the dent's there. I had to take that off, so then I've added the back buster on it. Not the back buster, sorry, the bagster. Then I had to modify. Oh, so wait, when you buy the adventure kit, you also get tank bag. So that's past part of the adventure kit. So then I had to modify the tank bag to suit this. And then before I went to Luxembourg last year as well, I bought the bottom engine guards, which you don't bike's been fine. I've obviously only recently, probably within the last 6 months, I've only really started to use. I'm going to have to cut this corner. I've only really had to use, I've only really started to use the TFT screen. So yeah, it's been alright. I'm going to need to watch myself going down here. Still icy here. Ooh. Back roads are a bit icy. So yeah, I've only really started to use the TFT screen over the last 6 months. So yeah, that's been kinda started to use that, which is good. I can't think if I've done any other modifications to it. I don't think I have. I've not changed the exhaust because the reason why I didn't change the exhaust is the shit that happens in Europe. Oh, gotta be careful here. What happens in Europe, you don't know what they consider an illegal exhaust. So I didn't want to change the exhaust just in case I bought an exhaust that wasn't EU or made it too loud, especially when you go through places like Austria and Switzerland and stuff like that. You don't know what they class as, even though it says EU on it, you don't know what they class as. So that's one thing I'm not going to change on it, is the exhaust. It's no sports bike. I don't need it to sound loud. It's not going to affect the performance of it. So nah, so the exhaust is standard. Yeah, I love the bike. I've had it off-road, as you've probably seen in some of the videos that I've posted on YouTube when we're in Czech Republic and places like that. I've took it off-road. It handles really well. I use Mitas tyres. So yeah, it's handles really well. So yeah, that's kinda the bad things about the Africa Twin is the frame. The frame, I don't know what they've done to the paint of the frame. The frame is absolute fucking shocking. I need to be careful going through here. Ooh, slidey. Yeah, the frame is absolutely shocking. I don't know what they've used to paint it. But within the first couple of months of me using it, the paint's came off the front stanchion. It was really bad with corrosion of the wheels, and then now the frame's really bad corrosion. Yeah. So the frame's really bad. I've basically just had to hit it with Hammerite. So every now and again I'll give it a wash, and any bare metal I'll hit it with Hammerite, just to make sure it doesn't rust. That's why I'm thinking about buying another bike soon, or maybe this year for using next year. Mainly because I want to take this off the road and I want to get the frame down to the back to the frame, sandblast it, powder coat it, and get it repainted. So yeah, that's the bad point of it, is the frame. The wheels have been fine. I had a bad buckle on my front wheel, but when it went in for its service for me to go to Budapest, the guy in Victor Divine straightened it. It's been fine after that, and I think there's only two ways it could have buckled. One, I remember probably about 6 months after I got it, I was down in Kirkcudbright and I hit a pothole with my son on the back of it, but it didn't seem to be that bad after that. And then when I got the first set of Mighty tyres on it, that's when I really noticed it. Is when it came out for the garage after its first set of Mighty tyres. The buckle was bad, but it was it's been fixed. It's got a slight buckle on it, but nothing major. And apart from that, I don't think there's anything else. The frame's the main thing for me. Everything else I love about the bike. It's comfortable. I mean, I've rode all the way to Budapest and back on it. So yeah, I think another bike just to get done to this. So I want to get this basically put back to original. I want to get the tank fixed. I want to get the frame sorted. I potentially could have a new set of wheels for it, or get another set of gold wheels for it. I'm thinking about upgrading the suspension to the electric suspension. Which you can do with this. It's got everything in it. All you need to do is get the electric suspension and plug it in. Think about getting the original, the OEM fog lights for it as well, or even get the bracket. The fog lights I've got are actually pretty good. So yeah, generally I love the Africa Twin. It's a brilliant bike. If you were going to do all green lane and stuff like that, then it might be a bit big for that. But the way we did Budapest, I like the fact the way we done Budapest is we done mainly roads like this, but we came across a few roads that were unpaved. But that one in Czech Republic, I'll never forget that one in Czech Republic, but this handled it perfectly. Some roads my brother decided to take me down was yeah, rocky and stuff like that. One of them in Czech Republic said it was a road and it was like going through a field. So if you got to do stuff like that with it, perfect. If I was to go and do all green laning or all off-road, would I have this bike to do it? Probably not. So the ones that I've been looking at, so I was looking at the Desert X, the Ducati Desert X. I like the look of that, but I don't know, it's a Ducati. I've never really seen anybody take one off-road. So I'm not too sure about that, and it's a lot of money for a second bike. I don't really want to be spending that amount of money on just a second bike. So that might be out the question. I like the look of it, but too much money. So then I was thinking about a KTM. So a KTM 790 or a 1090 or a 1190 or a 1290, but I don't want to go that big. And I like to be slightly different as well. Then I was looking at the Suzuki V-Strom. I've rode both of them, and if I was going to get one, it would have to be the 1050, but then again, you're talking about the same weight as this, so then there's no point. I like the 800, but there's things about that that I don't like. It's not that the bike's, it's a good bike, it's a really good bike, but there's things about the look of it I don't like. I like the look, I like a look of the 1050 more. So then that's kind of out the question. Plus, I think my brother might be considering one of them, an 800. So yeah, I don't know, and one of my mates is thinking of getting one as well. That's on his kind of list, what one he's going to get. There's the Tenere 700. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that, if I would consider a Tenere 700. I like the look of them, but as I said, I want something different. I want something that nobody's really got, or they're not that popular. And there's quite a lot of Tenere 700s out there. And then I would get the whole, oh, is that you converted to Yamaha? No, I haven't. I'm only going it because my bike's off the road getting done to what I want it done to. So one of the bikes I was kind of looking at, well, I was also considering the Transalp 750. Which means it's another Honda. So the fling up that I've got, I need to do a lot to that though, a lot to that to get it the way I'd want it. A lot. I rode that one when this was in for service, and there's a few things that I would need to do. What I'd want to do with that is I'd want to put a set of Africa Twin bars on it, because it felt kind of narrow for me. The wheels fine, the actual size of the bike fine. The one that I rode didn't have panniers, didn't have the didn't have the skid pan and stuff. But what's put me off of that is if that ended up with the same problems that this has got with the frame being needing painted all the time, that would put me off that. So that's the things that are putting me off of that. This phone is doing my head in. So yeah, so that's what's put me off the Transalp, is it feels quite narrow, which is not a big issue, but I'd need to change the bars. I would need to get the crash bars on it, I would need to get panniers on it, but then I don't know if I would go for hard cases with that or go for soft cases because it's a smaller bike. I'm not too sure, because if I did get a smaller bike, it would definitely be getting taken off-road a lot more than what this is. This bike, as I said, I love it touring, doing what we did to Budapest, but it's got the ability to do gravel roads, green laning, when and if you have to. So with a smaller bike, I would tend to maybe look for more gravel roads. So it's between the Transalp, and also I was looking at the Husqvarna Expedition 901, and right now you're getting really good deals with them. You're getting a fully kitted out one. I mean fully, every extra on it you can, that Husqvarna can fling at it, you're getting one of them for 11 grand. Well, 11.99 or something it is. 11.99 or something like that. So yeah, so that's the two fling ups to the bikes I'm thinking of. This year I'm not too worried about it. Ideally, yeah, this year would have been a brilliant year to get a different bike and get this one off the road, but I've got too much on this year. So I'm going to get this year out of this, and then I'm going to, after, so the start of 2026 is when I'm going to start thinking about getting a different bike or a second bike, should I say. So yeah, so that's kind of the plan. But as I says, Africa Twin, I love it. Great big touring bike. Definitely, if you need to take it off-road, green laning, it will do it. They advise doing a lot of green laning and off-road with it. No, really. It gets really tiring. One day, that day at Czech Republic, that's all we seemed to do that day, was do kind of green laning, a wee bit of tarmac, stuff like that. And I was really tired that day, because I'm bouncing about on the bike, trying to keep the bike upright and stuff like that. So yeah, I wouldn't advise buying it to do green laning. Get a lighter bike to do that, but for touring and doing what we did, perfect, because it will, if you need to go down that road that's gravel or dirt, it will take you down that road. The only limit is your experience and your bottle, basically. You know, I've been riding quite a long time, but I've not really done a lot of off-roading. So yeah, you need a good bit of bottle. And I think the good thing with me was the bike I did, they fell over and got a big dent in the tank, so I wasn't really panicking about dropping the bike. And at the end of the day, that's just the thing you need to accept if you're going to take the bike off-road or green laning. You're going to drop it. You're just going to drop it, and I kind of accepted that. So it didn't really bother me. There's a few times on that road through Czech Republic, yeah, I was screaming and swearing in my helmet, and I mean properly screaming. And yeah, there was a lot of F words and shit like that, yeah. So yeah, coming up to, that's it, coming up to 3 years since that. Well, 3 years since the bike was registered, about 2.5 years since I've owned the bike. It's going to be 3 years this October that I've owned the bike. Is that right? That's 2025? Yeah, I got the bike in October 2022. October 2023, 24. 20. Oh no, it's 5 before year, I think. I think I made the 4 year I've had the bike. If I got it October 2022, October 2023 would be 1 year, October 2024 would be 2 years, and October 2025 would, 3 years it is. So yeah, it's 3 years in October I've had the bike. So yeah, I love it. I love the bike. It's been good to me, big jock. I know it's strange, I'm a bit like Richie Vida, where he's named his bike. Normally bikes are a woman's name. Me and that crazy, it must just be me and him, it's that nuts. We've named our bikes after guys. His is Keith, I think, mine's Big Jock. It was down to yeah, Big Jock. Right, hope yous are well. Stay rubber side down. I'll take a wee run in the block, I think. Stay rubber side down. Take life 1 mile at a time. Catch yous all later.